why is Genshin Impact so popular? My guess is loot boxes, honestly.
What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and today I have done the unthinkable.
Okay.
I finally played Genshin Impact.
How could you do this to me? I gave you 7 years of my life, and you betray me.
This could very well be the start of my Majin Act Man arc, but it's high time I let you in
Well, it's already the Act Man arc, so, I mean, let's go.
on another secret. I like anime.
It's impossible! No!
As upsetting as this might be, I also love anime-themed games, but I had never played what could be
Okay, liking anime and liking anime teen games is kind of cringe, not gonna lie.
the biggest
You have to pick one and only one.
anime-styled game ever. What are you doing? You're scaring the pigeons away. Shut up, kid. They'll be back. They do come back usually, but what happens if one day they leave and never come back again? Just like... What? What the fuck? Timmy, I will find your...
Okay, suddenly, you know what, I'm a fan. Genshin Impact just got a new customer, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna buy 2 loot boxes, not even open them.
Your father and drag his ass back here. Genshin Impact
Why?
exploded seemingly
I mean, I think it's too late for that kid.
out of nowhere. And I heard that the game broke records by earning over $3.8 billion in the year that it launched. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's still breaking records, in fact. There's a reason everyone wants to be Genshin Impact, because that thing makes money.
If that's true, but if it is, that's fucking crazy. I find it even
Loot
crazier
boxes.
that Genshin was apparently the most tweeted about video game in 2022. So I wanted to find out, why is this game so notorious among some gamers? And why is it beloved by many others? I needed to know.
Oh, I think that's digging a hole that's not worth digging, honestly.
Why is Genshin Impact so
Sounds like something where you can only find disappointment at the end of the day.
popular? Okay. I think I am starting to understand. This video
Yeah, tight high socks. Kind of works every time, honestly.
is sponsored by Genshin Impact, and whenever I
Is
do
it?
dedicated sponsored videos like this, I only have one stipulation, that I get complete creative control of the video and I can say whatever I want about it.
Well, that's not a good stipulation after we saw what you did with Payday 3 after they lathered you up like a pig before the slaughter, and then you just said, yeah, the game's really awesome, and then no one could even play it at the start. I mean, you know, the stipulation of I can say whatever I want doesn't mean a lot when you're getting paid at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie.
If I don't have that, I don't make the video. But if you watch this video and you do want to try out Genshin, well, you can download it using the link in the description and pinned comment. The game is available on PC, Switch, PS5, and mobile, so you've got plenty of options. So what is Genshin? Well, it's a free-to-play open-world RPG that takes place in the mythical world of Teyvat. A world
Okay.
where fathers still abandon their children, and you slaughter...
That's a good world. That's the best type of world. Imagine you're living as an adventurer, and you know, it happens, you know? You just slaughter the village, and here's a woman, and you know, you do it dirty. It is what it is. I mean, are you gonna really not abandon the child at that point? Oh, but this is not that type of fantasy. Okay, my bad.
local wildlife for the sheer thrill of it. The world of Teyvat is all about elements. That plays into the different cities, the cultures, the combat, everything. Genshin's got some fun traversal mechanics that you've probably seen in other games, like wings.
Unironically, I have actually heard that Genshin Impact does have a pretty decent story considering everything. You know, character arcs are actually good, and the overall story is not that bad. And I watched a finance video about Genshin's Impact's economy, and it's actually going to be real bad because of the storyline, which probably is not going to happen, but it was a fun watch anyway, because turns out there's some kind of giant lizard that makes all the money. Hey, honestly, giant magical lizard that makes money when he feels like it and just willy-nilly gives it away, or the Federal Reserve? I'm kind of leaning towards the giant magical lizard that does things at random.
That let you glide over long stretches of land. a stamina bar that lets you climb up any surface. You know, to have a world this massive in a mobile game is actually quite impressive. And it just got bigger with the latest 4.2 update, which added new characters, stories, maps, and you know,
they're adding more characters constantly.
production value in these cutscenes is
Nice.
so if you've been taking a break from Genshin Impact, or you've been curious to try it, now is the perfect time to hop back in and check out the new Fontaine region, aka the land of too much water.
By the way, you know, it's the fact that he has the ability to criticize the game whenever he wants, by the way, does not mean that he still doesn't have a mandatory must-say in video points about stuff like his link in the description, the new update, and what's going on with that and stuff. Yeah, there are still mandatory points that he must make.
The game is seriously massive, and with this new update, you can test out one of the new characters, Furina, and you can try out her ability.
Yep, this is pretty classic.
Against some high-level enemies. The open world of Genshin Impact is massive, and I've only explored a very small chunk of it. You can collect resources, food, squirrel! There's all sorts of buildings and structures you can go into. Is there really an invisible wall right here?
Oh.
Come on, man. That's pretty bad.
That's kinda lame.
That's the only invisible wall I think I've encountered. Now, there's one thing to be aware of with games like Genshin Impact is...
Paimon? That's a Digimon name. Is this gonna turn into like a refrigerator with miniguns at some point? Would be pretty good. Not gonna lie.
If you don't have that sort of built-up tolerance to, you know, potentially cringy anime voices, might not be the game for you.
You've been a naughty boy.
Lady, are you trying to seduce a giant blob? Obviously a big selling point, literally,
Probably it's anime.
of Genshin is its characters. You can collect and recruit your favorite waifus or your... Wait, what's the male equivalent of a waifu? Does that exist?
Husbando.
Husbando.
Sounds
You can
pretty
collect your
stupid,
favorite
I know,
waifus
yeah.
and husbandos.
When it comes to wet enemies, I've got them covered.
That's not the only thing that's wet.
The electrical discharge caused by friction is only a little less shocking than love at first sight.
All right, fine, Genshin. You win. I'm ordering the body pillow. Are you happy?
This is why I don't play games with sound, honestly. Every single game I play, I have the sound lowered to the almost minimum. You know, but there's sometimes ambient noises when I'm alone and feel miserable, and I'm like, oh, this game's happy noises. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But never else.
I'm a little thirsty, but anime babes in skimpy outfits are only one aspect of this game. All the characters have unique designs, different abilities, and play styles. You can recruit them or get them through the gacha system. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, honestly, this is a 10-minute video, and for the first 4 minutes, this is just a giant ad. This is all what they would require him to actually say about the game, probably.
And some of them have their own personal quest lines. Now, as far as I've gotten in the game, the story of Genshin isn't the most mind-blowing thing, but it is lighthearted and it sets up the world nicely. I get the impression that the better parts of the story revolve around the characters more so than the overarching plot itself.
Wait, what are you?
You're not gonna get me.
Damn, he's all the way over there now. I think the
Yeah, that's some Diablo 4 dialogue right there.
world has a nice visual style to it. There's a ton of different activities you can do in the open world. I haven't found any that were like too complex, but you know, stuff with simple pleasures. What's most important, of course, is the combat. Now, what I think is really cool about Genshin's combat is that
He left the music on too loud. There's nothing I can do.
each character uses one of 7 elemental powers. Could be like earth, fire, air, water, electricity, plants, or ice. You can recruit up to 4 parties.
Am I the only one who finds it funny when someone calls plants an elemental power? What's your elemental power? Garbage. Dude, come on, that's funny. Plants, the power of elemental plant. What do you mean?
party members, and by mixing and matching these elemental powers, you get different bonuses. In universe, each element is connected to a nation and a certain god. The combat is nice because it's simple, and you can swap between 4 characters at any given moment. So like my main guy throws out wind blades that are super cool, but I can also swap to, you know, this hot fiery archer. Each character has separate levels, inventories, and health bars. I think it's also cool how the different elements interact with each other. Enemies have weaknesses that can be exploited. Some of these hilichurls have wooden shields that you can light on fire with flaming arrows. Or if there's like a wet blob, you can hit them with electricity that does more damage. Genshin feels like a game of simple pleasures. The combat is pretty easy and straightforward. It's very satisfying, but a lot of encounters are too easy. Though when I fight big ass bosses in this game, the battles are way more epic. I like the system of having fast and charged attacks that build up energy for flashy special attacks. If you play this game, you gotta get Diluc, this red-haired Chad with the giant sword. He's my favorite because he's got this endless combo that kicks ass. I think
talking about your favorite character is all... Dude, 6 minutes in, and now he has added some actual points of him, what he feels about the game. For example, the exploration part. But 6 minutes out of 10, this is just a giant ad currently. This is what you talk about in these sponsorship deals. They're not actually, by the way, also telling him... they also he needs to talk about a single character, like a single character of like 4 choices that they give him, or he needs to pick one and talk about why he likes it. And usually it's, oh, because he has really good single target attacks and he has really good AoE, or he's easy to get or something in a current event or whatever.
Genshin's main appeal in terms of gameplay is that it's designed to be played with any combination of 4 characters. There are some puzzles in this game. They're not super complicated, but, you know, characters like Kaya can use ice to freeze water so you can move over it, or put out flaming turrets. It's not the most mechanically complicated game, so the barrier for entry and to understand the mechanics is pretty low, making Genshin a very accessible game. Ironically, the customization and leveling...
accessibility is also, yeah.
And optimizing your characters feels way more complex than the combat itself. But I don't have a skill issue, so I didn't spend much time, you know, messing with my character's stats and their builds. One thing that slows down the pace of the story is you're often required to level up this adventurer's rank before you can start the next chapter in the main quest.
Oh, this is that. Yeah, this. Okay, 7 minutes in, we got the non-ad part, okay? Because they would never allow you to talk something bad about this. Nice.
You level that rank up by exploring, doing side quests, activities, and there is a lot to do in Genshin. Although sometimes I just want to do the main quest and get new characters. The gameplay isn't just combat. Sometimes you'll have a stealth mission, gliding challenges, all sorts of mini games like fishing, farming, you can cook some grub. And the towns have a lot of vendors, NPCs, and stories to tell. Genshin is a pretty easy game, at least at the start, and I think because it's on mobile, the mechanics can't be more complex than what a phone allows you to do. But once you get to higher levels, the game does get more difficult. Of course, this brings us to the big elephant in the room, the gacha system, also known by a different term, loot boxes. I just barely understand how the currencies work, and I think that's a good thing, because if opening my wallet was essential to playing and progressing the game...
Wow. Okay, so there's this thing, and then you can't see it, but there's this thing. So, my assumption is you spend money, you get one of these things, and then you convert the other thing. Oh wait, this is also a third thing. Look,
playing and
the Wish 1, Wish 10. Okay, so this is one of those games where you input $10, you get 1,000 crystals, and you can convert these 1,000 crystals into 100 Wish stars, and you can convert those 100 Wish stars into 100 soul in 10 soul fragments, and then you can convert the 10 soul fragments into 5k red diamond dust, bruh. And then you can buy stuff. This is what it looks like. Holy.
Progressing.
Oh, there's also an... Right, there's also the shielding currency. Amazing.
playing and progressing the game,
That's great.
I would have to understand the gacha system.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so that was the actual currency.
But I don't feel like I need to. Now you could get weapons, characters, and loot through the wishes. But as far as I've played, I've never felt compelled to buy anything or felt that the game was forcing me to. You know what I mean? Like a lot of
Yeah. Totally. I completely get it. No, really, I do. The game that set a new record for, revenue earned in a year, which was in the billions. Yeah, I completely get that this game probably absolutely no way forces you to buy loot boxes. Or the currencies. Yeah. It was an accident that it became, the #1 grossing game in the year. And probably still is, honestly, right?
mobile games will just straight up gatekeep later parts of the game until you buy enough stuff to power up your guy. So maybe there's a point later down the line where the difficulty goes from modest to hitting the fucking roof and a pop-up appears on screen saying, looks like you're a little underpowered. Money give us now? Make stronger you? But I haven't encountered that. If there was PvP, this gacha system would have a much worse effect. I'd also like to point out that Genshin offers co-op, so that's a plus.
This is not his footage, by the way. So what level is he?
Roof and a pop-up.
Is he even level 20? I mean, how fast did this actually level up in this game? That's a question. Because I think he's level 7 from everything that you saw, but it's hard to tell which footage is his and which footage isn't. The flying footage is probably his. What's his level here? 7. Okay, so he's 5 minutes into the game, probably.
And a pop-up appears on screen saying, looks like you're a much worse effect. I'd also like to point out that Genshin...
So, he took the money, did the review, and is level 7.
Offers co-op, so that's a plus. Everyone...
Okay. How fast is it to get level 20 in Genshin Impact? Let's see. How long does it take to get level 20 in Genshin? About 2 to 3 days, playing 4 hours per day. Okay. As an experienced player can do it in a day. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Hackman is a horrible gamer by definition. So he's level 7. You can get level 20 in roughly 8 hours if you're not a moron. Well, casual player, sorry. So, the Actman is showing level 7 footage. Okay, what's the highest level? No, here he's level 4. Here he's level 10. Okay, maybe he's level 20. So, he has roughly played this game for 8-ish hours. Okay.
Offers co-op, so that's a plus. Everyone needs a wingman when you're trying to...
That's honestly more, by the way, than most reviewers will play a game that they get paid for.
Recruit new babes to the squad. You would think that a gacha game like Genshin Impact would be super stingy with its rewards and
if he's level 20.
Resources.
It's kind of hard to distinguish which one is his footage and which one isn't. Because here you can see level 7. Maybe each character has a different level. But his main one probably is... Oh, actually, let's check the sport guy. Okay, level 18. So he has definitely probably played the game for 2 days, it seems like, at the bare minimum. I think. Kind of hard to tell, but again. So he has played the game for 2 days. That's more than most, not gonna lie.
Think that a gacha game like Genshin Impact would be super stingy with its rewards and resources, but it's actually quite generous. The only padding in this game so far is, like I said, leveling up the adventure rank, but even so, I don't think you can pay to speed that up. Oh god, maybe I'm giving them ideas. It does feel like Genshin respects my time as a player, because it doesn't resort to bombarding me with daily challenges, login bonuses. Don't forget to buy the Super Deluxe Edition.
He's talking about... Oh, no. Okay, he means the Raid Shadow Legends type of thing where, every time you go to the town, there's a pop-up. Oh, super sale, get it. It's only 5 minutes left. You can't buy it any... Yeah, he means that. But yeah, there's probably some kind of reward system, and I would be surprised if they don't have a daily login reward system, honestly. I have not heard about it, but I would be surprised if they honestly don't. That would be kind of shocking.
Super Deluxe Edition. Free-to-play games can often have a bad stigma around them.
But yeah, modern day free-to-play games, like every single one of them, is gonna actually take you roughly around 40-ish hours. Yeah, I'm not even kidding about that. It's gonna take you tens of hours. On average, if I remember, I could be wrong about this, but I remember hearing 40 was the magic number. That it takes you roughly 40 hours to come against a wall where you're not progressing fast enough in a modern free-to-play game. That's how all these games do it. That was old tech. This is how the old games did it. It's like you start the game 5 minutes in, it's like, oh, well, better swipe my credit card. No, that doesn't addict you good enough, okay? Modern days games give you all of the addicting stuff for free for like tens of hours, and then they become slow that you want to use your credit card. And then they don't even actually bombard you instantaneously with it. They become slower, slightly slower, and they become even slower and slower and slower. Until the point where you're like, okay, I gotta buy this because, man, I really wanted, I have worked for it for so long, and that's how they get you. That's modern day gaming.
But I think this is one of the good ones, and part of it is probably that it's just an anime game, and well, making fun of anime is a treasured pastime for gamers. So it's no wonder why the game is so popular, given that it's extremely accessible, it looks amazing, and has a simple but satisfying combat loop with tons of abilities and weapons to use. The massive open world is filled with activities, bosses, enemies, dungeons. It has a little something for everyone. So again, if you'd like to try out Genshin Impact for free, there's a link in the description and pinned comment. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a date with that witch lady.
Do you want to bet he never played Well, maybe he played for like half a day more. Wait, whoa, no, we actually forgot about this. So the thing is, if you're doing a promotion like this for a game, they will give you a goodie box, okay? So maybe he opened up the beginner goodie box that was linked to his account or something like that, and he actually got a bunch of free stuff. There's a chance that that's happening. Because it does. And I have abused the shit out of that, I'm not gonna lie. There's a bunch of companies that I have done sponsorship deals to that don't respond to my emails when I say, hey, how about some free stuff? And it's like the 5th time I asked them for free stuff. No, I'm serious. Some of these companies don't respond to my emails when I ask them for free stuff. They know. Anyway, this is good. And that was the Act Mam. On his Act Mam arc. Very impressive. Very manly. Anyway, have a nice day. Bye-bye.